In a bustling city in West Africa, there lived a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Adebayo. They weren't just wealthy, they were the kind of wealthy that whispered through the city like a legend. Their mansion stood on the highest hill, a gleaming beacon of success that everyone could see, but few could approach. They had everything one could dream of: luxury cars, designer clothes, and a life of seemingly endless leisure. But beneath the shimmering surface of their lives, a different story was being written, one not of inspiration, but of discouragement. The Adebayos had a peculiar habit. They hosted grand, exclusive parties, not to celebrate, but to showcase. The guest list was a carefully curated collection of old friends from their humble beginnings, aspiring entrepreneurs, and ambitious young people from their community. The invitations themselves were like golden tickets, sparking a frenzy of excitement and envy. To be invited was to be acknowledged, to be seen. Or so it seemed. Young Kemi, a talented fashion designer with a small but growing business, received one such invitation. For weeks it was all she could talk about. She saw it as her big break, a chance to network with influential people and perhaps even find an investor. She spent a month's profit on a stunning new dress, believing this one evening could change her life. When she arrived, her heart pounded with a mix of awe and anxiety. The mansion was even more magnificent up close, a palace of marble and glass. Inside, Mrs. Adebayo, draped in diamonds that sparkled like 1,000 tiny stars, greeted her with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Kemi, darling, so glad you could make it," she cooed, her voice smooth as silk. "I've heard about your little boutique. How charming." The word little hung in the air, a tiny sharp needle pricking Kemi's balloon of hope. Throughout the evening, Kemi tried to engage in meaningful conversations, to share her vision and her passion. But every attempt was subtly deflected. Mr. Adebayo, a man whose tailored suit probably cost more than Kemi's entire workshop, would listen with a patronizing nod. When Kemi showed him sketches of her new collection, he chuckled. "Very ambitious," he said, taking a sip of his expensive champagne. "But the fashion world is brutal. We tried investing in a designer once. A complete disaster. Lost a fortune. Now we stick to real estate. Much safer, you know." He then turned to another guest to discuss a multi-million-dollar property deal, leaving Kemi feeling small and foolish. The entire evening was a masterclass in subtle discouragement. The Adebayos would parade their success, not as a testament to what was possible, but as a mountain too high for anyone else to climb. They would speak of their failures in business as catastrophic events that only someone with their immense resources could survive, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those with far less to lose. "Why risk your small savings," they'd imply, "when even we, the great Adebayos, have stumbled so badly?" Another guest, a young tech innovator named Femi, had developed a brilliant mobile app to help local farmers. He hoped to pitch the idea to Mr. Adebayo. After waiting for the right moment, he finally got his chance. Mr. Adebayo listened for a moment, then waved his hand dismissively. "An app for farmers? My dear boy, they can barely afford smartphones. It's a noble idea, but not a profitable one. Trust me, I know the market. Stick to your day job. It's a steady paycheck, and you won't end up losing your shirt." Femi left the party feeling deflated. The man he had looked up to had just crushed his dream with a single casual remark. The message was clear. Don't try. Don't risk. The game is for us, not for you. This was the Adebayos' true, unspoken mission. They had climbed the ladder of success, and instead of extending a hand to help others up, they were busy greasing the rungs to make sure no one could follow. Their wealth wasn't a tool for empowerment. It was a wall built to keep others out. Their greatest fear wasn't losing their money, but the thought of having to share the top of the mountain. But here is where the story takes a turn. Discouragement is a powerful force, but it is not invincible. It can be overcome by something even stronger: Community. Kemi and Femi met again after the party, not with excitement, but with a shared sense of disillusionment. As they talked, they discovered others who had been similarly dismissed by the Adebayos. A talented chef was told his dream of opening a restaurant was a recipe for bankruptcy. An artist was told his paintings were a lovely hobby, but not a career. They realized the Adebayos' narrative was a lie. It was a story designed to protect their own status by sowing envy and fear. Instead of giving up, this small group of dreamers decided to band together. Kemi offered to design modern, functional workwear for Femi's farmers. The chef offered to cater their first small launch event. The artist designed a stunning logo for the app. They pooled their meager resources, their skills, and most importantly, their belief in each other. They created a small ecosystem of mutual support, a stark contrast to the Adebayos' world of isolated grandeur. Their journey was slow and filled with challenges. There were no million-dollar investments, no lavish parties. There were late nights, shared meals of simple jollof rice, and countless moments of doubt. But every small victory was a shared celebration. When Femi's app secured its first 100 users, they all felt the win. When Kemi's designs were featured in a local blog, it was a triumph for the entire group. Word of their collaborative efforts began to spread. They weren't just building businesses, they were building a movement based on the idea that success isn't a limited resource to be hoarded by a few, but a fire that grows brighter when shared. Their story became a new legend in the city, a more accessible and inspiring one than the tale of the lonely mansion on the hill. The Adebayos, from behind their gilded gates, watched this all unfold. They saw the vibrant community growing in their shadow, and for the first time, their vast wealth felt hollow. They had all the money in the world, but they were utterly alone, surrounded by possessions but starved of genuine connection and shared joy. Their strategy of discouragement had backfired. By trying to keep everyone down, they had inadvertently pushed the most determined souls together, forging a bond far stronger than any fortune could buy. This story reminds us that true wealth isn't measured by what you accumulate for yourself, but by how you lift up those around you. It teaches us that while envy and greed can build walls, collaboration and belief can build bridges to a better future for everyone. Don't let anyone's success make you feel small. Instead, find your community, share your dreams, and build your own tables. Because together, we are unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep building and believing.